This is Mayor Cecil Willis, and I'm here with our first responder team and our partners from Fort Bend WCID number 2 to give you an update on information we have at the present time. First, again, I want to tell you thank you, residents of Stafford and businesses of Stafford. You went above and beyond in doing your part by staying at home, staying off the streets, conserving water, conserving energy. It made our job at the city so much easier in providing protective services for you. At this time, I'd like to call on the president of Fort Bend WCID 2, a good friend of mine, a good friend of this city, Mr. John Rose, to let you know some information about WCID number 2. John?
Thank you, Cecil. Thank you, Mayor. The Water District is currently experiencing low water pressure. Some of y'all probably have already realized that the pressure has increased. Under the extreme freezing conditions and electrical power outages have impacted the district's facilities. Our Fort Bend WCID has been working throughout the week resolving any water issues. The TECQ required boil water alert is still in effect until further notice. The district is working diligently to provide normal service under this extreme weather event. Our goal is to provide clean and safe water. Thank you for your patience and understanding.
Thank you, John. That was much appreciated by us all. I'm now going to call on our Fire Marshal, Efrem Burns, to give us an update among the areas that he's been looking at.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, everyone. First, I'd like to give you a short weather update, and after that, 2 very important travel advisories if you're traveling within the city of Stafford. As we enter into day 4 of this weather event, things may be looking a little bit more promising here in the next 24 to 48 hours. Though we've still been experiencing very low temperatures and icing, some of the ice is broken up, but today, especially tonight, we still might be experiencing some freezing temperatures. It might sustain for anywhere from 12 to 16 hours that are projected. So please, do not be fooled by the wetness that you see on the streets. That can transform to ice in different areas at any given time. So please travel with very, very strict precautions. Secondly, 2 travel advisories. First, many of you may know, some of you may not, that the Dulles Overpass has been closed. By direction of TxDOT, they came in today and they removed those barricades and they put a de-icing agent on the bridge. Again, do not let that fool you. The icing takes time to melt the ice. So tonight, with those temperatures threatening to drop even lower, there could be some ice spots on that bridge. Though the bridge is open, please travel very cautiously with the bridge. Secondly, per the advisory of TxDOT, intersection of Murphy and Mueller and Greenbrier intersection, there are no signal lights there visible. At nighttime, the actual lights themselves are not visible. 4-way stop signs were put up, but by the advice of TxDOT, they removed. So please treat that as a 4-way stop sign if you're familiar with this area. If you're not familiar with this area and you're in town, from out of town due to the weather, and you can understand where this intersection is at, please treat it as a 4-way stop sign. It's very, very hazardous at night. As I said, you cannot see, so please travel that intersection and approach with precaution. And as we get to the final days of this weather event, temperatures should be, as projected, coming up somewhere around Friday or Saturday to above freezing. So that's a positive note. And until then, stay safe, continue to watch the traffic advisories, and be careful out there. Thank you.
Thank you, Fire Marshal Burns. Now I'm going to call on Battalion Chief Jose Magana to give us an update on his services and his men's services that are being carried on in this city.
Good evening. The fire department has been extremely busy still here with this weather event that we are dealing with. We've responded to over 150 calls since the event started on Sunday evening, and we're still providing these services to you and maintaining as well as everyone else has here in the city in public service. We still want you to caution and make sure that you are practicing your fire safety and keeping an eye on those appliances that you are using to maintain heat in your home. Even if you're not having power, whatever source you are using, to make sure that you are keeping an eye on that. The fire department is still answering your call and responding to them, even on the non-emergency calls with busted water lines and whatnot. It's just taking us some time to get there to you. We will get there to you. We just want you to know that it's just going to be a little bit delayed because other emergencies will be taking priority.
Thank you, Battalion Chief. I'm now going to call on our Police Chief, Richard Ramirez, to give you an update on the areas that he's responsible for.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, and the Stafford Police Department is still responding to all emergency and non-emergency calls. I do want to say thank you to all the men and women of the Stafford Police Department that are out patrolling. I also want to thank our communications division for the job that they're doing in keeping up with all the high call volumes that we're having. But we are still out patrolling. We are still able to respond to your emergency and non-emergency calls at this time. As Fire Marshal Burns stated earlier, please be careful when you're driving in and out of the city. There are still areas that are without power on our major thoroughfares, so without the power, the traffic lights aren't working. We have been asked to remove our stop signs that we had put in place by TxDOT, so those have been removed because they're under, those roads are under TxDOT's care. So please be careful as you're driving through the city. Just because the lights are turned off and there's no stop signs, please do your due diligence and stop at those intersections to ensure that the area is clear before you travel through it. There also could be ice in those intersections that could cause adverse effects on your vehicles. So please, everyone, just see if we can stay home for one more day. I know you're getting cabin fever and it's hard to stay in the house, but please, if you could just stay home for one more day, I believe that the worst of this will be behind us and we'll be able to traverse the city in far better circumstances. So with that, y'all have a good evening. God bless y'all and stay safe.
Thank you, Chief, and thanks to each and every one of you for your comments. I, too, want to thank the entire city staff, not only our first responders, but our entire city staff for what they've done to get us through this time so far. Those of you that really know me know that when it gets to 69 degrees, I'm cold. On the way over today, the thermometer in my truck said 39, and that's the warmest I've been in 4 days, and it really felt good. So, as it was said, one more day, we think we'll get through the worst part of this. Between 6 a.m. and 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, it shows it to be freezing or below. The rest of the day is on the upswing. Tomorrow, we will do another update to you at some time. Ms. Entridge is working on all the social media outlets to get this posted in many areas that we can to keep you informed. So again, one more day, one more night, stay in, and hopefully by this time tomorrow afternoon we will have some good news for y'all. Thanks and stay safe, and God bless each and every one of you.